What's cooking, Bianconeri? Welcome back to your lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, it's finally a pre-match day Saturday, match day against Roma that Juventus will be playing. Finally, again, it's been 2 weeks since we've had a match to look forward to, so it's exciting to get into it. But today, this morning, or this afternoon, wherever you are, depending on that, the timing may differ. But overall, the important aspect is that Allegri gave his pre-match comments in his press conference to look into what we may see against Roma, as well as some really important details when it comes to Juventus' team. Stick with us now. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back. You're in the Bianconeri zone. My name is Justin Sofro, and today it is Saturday, October 16th, 2021, and of course we have your latest rundown of all things Juventus. Before we do anything, go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos, and it'll really keep you up to date on all things Juventus and all the latest breaking news when it happens. Let's just dive into it. All right. First up, we have is Max Allegri's first comments, in which he says that today I'm seeing the whole team together for the first time ahead of the game. The South Americans arrived last night, and I'll assess them today. I'll decide tomorrow morning. That first part, that always bothers me so much about the South American players and the way their schedule works and about how they're out for so long, and then they come in like literally right before everything starts up again, and then we're hoping to have them back in peak condition, hoping that they can really contribute to what we need. We'll see how that goes, but we'll see. He's going to assess them today, so we'll find out who will be, in fitting form to play against Roma, hopefully later this evening. He also says we have 7 games until the next break. Now we need to pick up points to stay close with the top. Very good points. This is not an opportunity. It's one thing that I talked about, I think, in the last 3 videos straight, but it was always about momentum. Momentum is such an important factor when it comes to sports, when it comes to football, basketball, whatever have you, any of that. It's really important. So I would hope that they don't have that, let that momentum swing away from them. You got to keep building. You got to keep gaining points, gaining on the, Milan, Inter, Napoli in this situation. Keep building to get back to those guys after you had such a sluggish start to begin with. But yeah, hopefully Roma will be an opportunity for them to get another 3 points at home. It's at home, so that's the most important aspect of it as well. And then he says, Roma have technique and physicality. We need to prepare well and turn the switch on immediately. Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say to that? Yeah, yes, coach. All right. Then he goes on to say that Morata will most likely train with the team today, but we have to assess the risks. Dybala, absolutely not. He's much more behind than Morata. And he says, I think Dybala will be available within 7 to 10 days. So here's the news that we need to talk about. Here's an aspect that we really need to get into when it comes to Dybala. Morata, we'll see what he does today. If they'll risk him, if they'll whatever, they'll use Morata, fine. Okay, he's getting better. Dybala, though, I don't know if it's the way that Juventus has let some of this go out. I don't know if it's the way that the media has talked about it or what's happening there with Dybala. But Dybala's injury seems to be much more serious than we were led to believe at the beginning. If you look at the beginning of this, when they talked about it, they acted like he was going to be fine. There were fluctuations. He's going to be out for a while, and then he's going to be fine. He's going to be out for a while. He's going to be fine. And then now for a while they're saying that he may be back, pretty immediately. Now we have Allegri maybe giving us a little bit more transparency here when it comes to Dybala's injury, and it actually seems more serious than maybe we initially thought. And that's something that actually worries me because from the very beginning of this, I talked about it too. Whenever you have a nagging injury, something that returns like it did last year, kept him out of action for almost the entire season, this is something I'm worried about. And now I'm worried about, could this injury be something related to that, be something that's reoccurring, and could be more detrimental for his future on the pitch, period. That's something we need to keep in mind and keep an eye on. And hopefully, I at least like that Allegri kind of speaks his mind and he'll say whatever he thinks. So this seems to be the truth here, as the Dybala actually has a much more serious injury than we expected. We'll keep an eye out and see where it goes from here. But that's something that worries me when it comes to Dybala and his long-term hopes at Juventus. Then we'll move on. He goes on to talk about Ramsey. He says, Ramsey, I haven't had any clarification because there's nothing to clarify. I count on him a lot. I rely on him. I mean, what's my guy going to say? What's there's coach speak, and then what's he going to say? Ramsey is what Ramsey is. He made his comments about Jay Medical. He makes his comments about Juventus. He has all the stuff that's been going on with him behind the scenes. It's been a mess. But what is he going to say? He's going to say, I count on him. If he's going to play, he'll play. If not, then he'll sit on the bench. I don't know what else he can say there as a coach, because he's not going to speak on his future. He's not going to speak on anything when it comes to him transferring anywhere else, anything like that. That's just not what Max Allegri is going to do. He goes on to say that Moise Kean is fine. Kyle George doesn't have 90 minutes in his legs, but he's a smart kid. If Morata couldn't make it, the solutions from the start would be Kean, Kayo, or Bernadeschi as a forward. Which of those would you all prefer? Actually, let me know in the comment section down below. Which one would you prefer to start? King, Kyle George, or Bernadeschi against Roma? I tend to lean more toward, of the three, I'd probably still say Moise Kean. I know what you're getting from him a little bit more. I'm hoping, when I say I know, I've seen evidence of what he can produce. I would like to see Moise Kean. He's more likely to score of the three. But and they're actually in order, probably the way that I'd like it. Bernadeschi, nothing. I know there's a lot of Bernadeschi saviors out there who want to tout for him, and I've not been one of those guys who's hated Bernadeschi or disliked him, as so many others have. But I just think it's time to move on. We've seen what he gives. I don't need to do that whole spiel again. But when it comes to Kyle George, he did intrigue me a little bit with it was the last bet against Torino, the way that he came in there and really injected a little bit of energy in there. Could have had an assist there if Kulusevski finishes that. Interesting just to see what he could do. I'd like to see him get some minutes as well. But to me, I think Moise Kean's probably our safest bet to start off as long as he's healthy. Let me know, though, who you'd rather see start in the comment section down below. Now let's move on to the next part that we have here. And that is, Allegri's talking about Bernadeschi, of course, saying, I'm happy with Bernadeschi. He's doing well, but he mustn't be satisfied. He must find that continuity of performance that depends only on the mental aspect. That's true. Obviously, Bernadeschi's got a lot of mental issues when it comes to his game. But I also don't know if he's capable of superseding those issues that he currently deals with. I don't know if he's physically able to do that on a performance level. Nothing against Bernadeschi. I just don't know if he's had a lot of time here. He's had multiple years to prove it, and he hasn't done it yet. Last goal that I can remember was against Sampdoria. Obviously, yes, he had the goal in the preseason. That doesn't count. That doesn't matter. But it was against Sampdoria in 2019-2020. So it's been a while to prove that that he's really, I don't want to say worth keeping, but it is what it is at this point. I'm really trying to think if there's anything much else to really take from that. But yeah, I know he likes Bernadeschi more than a lot of guys like. We'll see if maybe he can, like I said, the ball is round. It's a long season to go. Maybe he can get something out of Bernadeschi by the end, and we'll be talking about that contract offer a little bit differently. We'll see. He goes on to say, I'm sorry not to have Rabiot available because he was doing well and growing. It means he will rest and be even more ready for the next games. Yeah, as we know, Rabiot is out because he is positive for the Pandy situation. I don't know. I think Alejandro actually said the word on the channel, so I guess I can say it now, but I'm just going to play it safe and not say the C word. Not that one. Not that one. But you know what I mean. Anyway, he seems to be currently dealing with that. At least he's positive. I don't know how much if he's actually sick from it or if he actually has symptoms of it, but either way, until he's not positive anymore, he'll be out. Until then, I know there's some drama there going on with some of the Milan players who are on the French team that may not be too happy with Rabiot as well, either on the French team or because they play. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's Milan. Who cares? Let's move on to this one, though. He's talking about McKennie in front of the defense. No, and it's not true that I don't have a good feeling with him. Against Torino, he was more organized than in other games because he usually runs around the pitch. It's a very good point. McKennie is very well known. One of the things when you bring him in, and things that I wrote about in the article, if you haven't read it, don't tell me. Anyway, but in the article that I wrote back about a year ago or so, he basically talked about McKennie and his happenstance to run. And that's really what he does. Not Allegri didn't talk about it, but I talked about his. That's what he does. He's a bulldog. He's always running all over. If you ever had a bulldog before, bulldogs are all over the place. There's cannonballs just running all over the place, hitting things left and right. That's what he does. He's all over the place. He's hounding everything, which is good. That's what you want to see from McKennie, but it's unorganized when he does it is a problem. So then it makes him look even worse. Again, like I said, my stance on McKennie hasn't changed. If we get an offer or whatever, wish him the best. That's all I'll say. I'm not taking up for McKennie. But I am interested to see if he can get anything out of him. You have less than, a couple months now before the January market really to see if he can do anything for Allegri. Also, I don't know if I truly believe that he says that I don't have a good. Wait, it says no, it's not true that I don't have a good feeling with him. We'll see. I don't know if I completely agree with that statement. He also said McKinney has goals in his legs, and I have great faith in him as well. That's the one thing too. It is true. He does have goals that he can produce out there for Juventus. One of the big problems though is when he's not scoring those goals, all those warts we start seeing, like all the issues that we've seen with McKinney this year were there last year. The reason that it wasn't as big of an issue was because last year he was scoring goals. He had goals at the end of those confusing, unorganized, whatever play. He had a couple goals, so that made everything better. So that's the one thing we're missing. If he can get a couple goals, not saying that it'll save him, but it'll make him look a little bit better, I think, in the long run. At least for the market standings, to sell him. And then he goes on to say there's no point in arguing about fixture lists. If you have to play, you have to go out on the pitch and you have to face the games calmly. When there are problems, we have to find solutions. So a lot of coach speak there, just saying basically there's no point in really complaining about when they schedule us, what time against who, where, what, whatever have you. And you go out there, you win your games. That's what the Juve mentality should be when you're one of the premier, teams, clubs in the sport. Your mentality should be go out there and win it, which I agree with. He goes on to say we will have a lot of important games, and in November we will see where we are in the standings, especially if we have already passed the group in the UCL. It seems pretty good with the Champions League, having beaten, what's it called, Malmo and Chelsea, and then we got Zenit on Wednesday. So we could be in a good position going forward where we can, I don't want to say take it easy, but not have to worry about just moving on out of group play. So that'd be something good. Hopefully, maybe they'll give them a little bit of opportunity to play some more guys that wouldn't normally get to play. Unfortunately, because of Aaron Ramsey, you're not going to be able to see Kyle George play any of those minutes because he's not on the Champions League list, which is something that I really wish would have happened. I would have liked to see him out there and what he can do there, especially against a club like Zenit again or Malmo or whatever have you. Anyway, that's basically the rundown of all of his comments that he made pre-Roma. I know he talked a lot less about Roma than he actually did talk about his own team, which is normal, I guess, coming back from a break when you need to get back into a rhythm with these guys again and see what they can do and what they can produce. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't worry, later we will have I think it'll actually be later today. We'll actually have a preview for the Roma and Juventus match. Julian and Alejandro will be hosting that for you guys, so make sure you tune into that as well. If you haven't already, like I said, go ahead and like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps us. Actually, flip that, subscribe. I do want you to subscribe, but liking really helps. If you haven't liked already, it really helps our videos in the algorithm and all that. It really does. And also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you also follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter and follow Julian Gino D at Gino D151 on Twitter as well. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.